Hey, 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 hustlers. It is MJ Gordon here with another episode of Optimize and Conquer. I put out a video recently that talked about what I actually do for a living, and somebody named Living the Dream had some really great questions. So I just wanted to pop in here and do this mini Q&A to respond to all those questions and also ask you guys if you had more questions. Stick in the comment below to clarify any of these things. I realized that I hadn't really talked to you guys about what I've done for a living, and once it came out, more questions and more interest flooded, and I am so excited about that because this is my passion. It's my baby. Like, it is such a big part of my daily experience, and I thought it was only fair to share it with you guys since we share most everything anyways. So Living the Dream, thank you so much. Shout out to you for posing these amazing questions. I'm sure it doesn't cover all of it, but they're great questions about business that I thought would add value to answer and respond to. So the first question is, how many employees do I have in my work or my business? And that's a great question because employees is something that I have talked about as far as time management goes, and it's something that really helps with productivity and the ability to optimize and level up your business. And so it's a hard thing to begin with when you've set all this up, you've been doing business on your own, and now you've got to trust people to do your work and hopefully do it as good as you or close to as good as you. Yeah, it's not going to happen. So as far as employees go right now, we have 3 full-time employees, and we don't typically do more than 5 at the moment. Scaling is something that I'm still learning and wanting to grow better in. We do have a large database of contracted employees, or whatever you want to call them, contractors that we partner with for various reasons, such as modeling, locations, propping, etc. People have certain things like dogs or cars that we could use or need for commercials or projects, and so we call them up and we pay them separately per project as needed, but they're not technically employees. Speaking of the benefit of employees, the next question that Living the Dream had was, how do you time manage all of these? Well, the whole theme of anything I ever share with you guys is how to optimize. My goal is to squeeze the juices out of life and get it for everything that it's worth, for all it's worth, even if it's a hard situation, a challenging situation, not the most ideal situation, or even the most joyous situations that we often have a tendency to rob ourselves of the joy. I want to make sure that you guys know how to get the most out of every moment in life, because that's what it's all about. Optimal living is all about getting the most, or optimizing each moment, optimizing the opportunities and the things that you have in front of you, not necessarily trying to reach an end goal. So in a roundabout way, time management is huge when it comes to owning and running a business, especially one that has so many moving parts like we do. We have so many moving parts. It can be seriously overwhelming. But the cool thing is, when you start to expand, when you start to focus on productivity, you get better, faster, stronger. It's like a skill or a muscle that you're exercising. So in the beginning, when I look back to like 5 years ago, the things that used to stress me out is such a minuscule fraction of the things that I have to think about, do, and handle on a daily basis. It is so amazing and comical to me that 5 years ago I was stressed out about the things that I was. But keep in mind that if you're just getting started, a lot of it's going to feel overwhelming to you. So time management is key, but the real base of time management is energy management. If your energy is off the wall, you're dragging, you can't think clearly, you're foggy, you're unmotivated, it sucks, you're not gonna be productive. And that's why I teach all the things that I teach here. Whether you're starting a business or you wanna optimize life and just live it up and have fun, energy management and making sure the resources that are important to have that foundation in place to sustain optimal living, to sustain an optimal business, is so key. Like, you cannot miss one of those cornerstones or one of those pillars for the foundation, because it'll just wreck you if you don't. So time management comes with productivity, and we have a whole playlist on all of this on this channel. Lots of episodes about time and energy management, so check those out if you want to dig deeper into how exactly I make sure I'm fully optimized to handle the things I do on a daily basis. Number 3 is, do I take holidays? And I think that's a great question. Also in relation to like, how do you take holidays? Like, how do you dictate your time? So I guess it just really flows out of time management, because understand that one of the downsides to owning a business is that you can literally work yourself 24/7. It's really easy to be in bed, pick up the phone and start answering client emails. It's easy to be at a party and see a client email pop up and be like, Mayday, excuse me, I have to excuse myself. I was at the Florida Aquarium the other week with my family who was visiting from out of town. We were like in the middle of something and there was no reception. My assistant's calling me with a mini crisis that was going on at the office, and I had to step out of the building for like 10 or 15 minutes to handle that. So you have to be able to switch on and off pretty quickly and learn how to set your own personal boundaries. So in another roundabout way, yes, I do take holidays, and I prepare a lot prior to the holidays to make sure that I can really enjoy those holidays with minimal management as possible. And then I set myself up for success when I come back from the holidays. So I do this for the weekends. I do this for my own free time. I set hours, and that's why it's so important that I have an office, because all of the work stuff becomes separated from my personal life. Because as it starts to bleed together, if you feel like you're continuously working 24/7, you get burnt out so quickly. So it is so important to treat yourself like a normal person at a normal job and designate those important personal times for yourself so that you can enjoy life. Because if you're not enjoying life, what's it all for? So the next question is, where is my office? We talked about having an office space and why it's important. If you can't get an office space, just having a separate corner where you can sit down and work is a great way, instead of dragging your laptop into bed with you. That's so important for me. I like doing all my work here. My head is the most clear. I'm not worrying about laundry. Kids aren't running around. And my office is in my home. And this is the biggest room in my home, but we've designated it as such because A, we try to live pretty minimally, and B, our work stuff takes a lot of space, but it also separates me from the rest of the household so I can come in here, focus, and work. And I like this the best because if there is some sort of crisis or something that needs to be checked on and we have a little extra time, it's just really easy to come in here and do it. I don't have to get in the car. I don't have to open the door. I don't have to get dressed. Like, I just come in here and do it. And the beautiful thing is, like, the kids were sick the other week. They had gotten the norovirus and they're throwing up, and we're having to work a lot because we were working to get to our vacation. And so it was things were kind of backed up, and to have the office right here where we can tend to them and sort of get work done without getting too backed up was a huge, huge benefit. So I do like working from home. Someday I might have an additional offsite office space when we grow to more employees so that random people aren't coming into my house all the time. Eventually, that is definitely a potential and a possibility as we expand and grow, but I will always have my own home office for sure. The last question that Living the Dream asked is, how do I find my clients? Well, if you haven't already checked out the Freedom Program, I cover exactly how I built all 5 of the solid ways that I've made businesses online. If you haven't checked out the 5 solid ways to make business online or make money online, check that on the link below. It's totally free. I cover these areas just for awareness and so that you can sort of think of your product or service or brand that you want to get started and see which direction you might want to take. But in the Freedom Program, we talk about ad clients, and this is how you start getting your first clientele or client base. They're going to help you build your portfolio. They're going to help bring referrals in. They're going to help build case studies. They're going to help make your product or service more credible. And so I always start by working in collaboration with people who would make great ad clients. And then we continue to expand and grow from there, utilizing different traffic streams and sources like social media marketing, ads online, even local word of mouth, networking events, talking to people, constantly talking about what you do, and being known for that is bound to get you more clients. Just in my local marketplace in the last year, I typically have 1 to 3 inquiries a month of people around me who say, hey, you're a photographer? Can you do photos for this? Can you do my headshot photos? Can you do my location photos? Can you help me do videos for my product or my service or brand? And because people know what you do, and when you put that portfolio publicly on the web, like on my Facebook or on my Instagram, people see this and you build automatic credibility and they automatically have interest in you without you really having to market to them. So that's the simplest way, but we utilize and leverage as many tools as we possibly can get our hands in, because obviously awareness and getting a continual flow of clients to help you maintain your income is super important. And it's probably one of the hardest things as a business owner to do in the beginning, is to make sure that you're getting enough work to keep yourself paid and to keep the business alive, and then to keep your employees paid as well. So those are really great questions. If you want to know more about how I build my business or the type of businesses that I do, check out those links that I mentioned below. Let me know that you like this episode by hitting thumbs up or heart, and share the video if you think anybody else can get value out of it. It's the best compliment and the most rewarding when you guys share, because I love adding value to people and I love helping you guys optimize, level up, and conquer your lives, making your dreams a reality. Thanks so much for joining me here. Remember to be good, be great, most of all, be grateful. I'm grateful for you, and I'll see you in the next episode.